Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Master Tech Guy. So in this video, I'm going to do a $1,000 budget PC build for video editing. So I've been meaning to do this video for a while because my computer is now very slow. So now finally I can do it, but the key is that I have no experience whatsoever. So fingers crossed, I'm not even going to be using YouTube videos to troubleshoot my way through this PC build without wasting time. So let's get into it. Don't worry, I won't be using this, but let's get into the part list, what I have for this build. Now for the case, I have the Antec NX270TG case, which I bought locally for $75. And for the CPU, I have an i5 12600K CPU, which I bought for $224. And for the motherboard, I have an MSI V660M Mortar Wi-Fi DDR4, which I bought for $142. Now for the storage, I have the Samsung 980 NVMe SSD, which I bought for $89. Now for the RAM, I have the Corsair Vengeance 32 gig 3200 megahertz, which I bought for $77. Now for the CPU cooler, I have the Deepcool AG400, which I bought for $29. For the RGB fans, I have the Cool Moon RGB fans and hub, which I bought for $20. Now for the power supply, I have the Deepcool PK700D power supply, which I bought for $46. And finally, for the GPU, I have the MSI RTX 3060 Ventus 2X, which I bought for $292. Bringing the total to $994. So, without wasting time, let's get into this build. Fingers crossed, this will work out in the end. Let's do this. So there's my CPU here. As you can see, this is my CPU. Let me just take it out of this. 12600K. Yeah, now for video editing, I'm sure that is enough. Let me just show you. There's the 12600K. Right now, obviously, I have to locate the arrow. Now, where is the arrow? There's the arrow this side. As you can see, there's the arrow here, and I have to locate which direction I have to put the arrow. So now I have to press this down. At least that's what the YouTube video said, and bring this up. Now, looking here, let me just verify where the arrow is. Okay, where's the arrow? Where's the arrow? You see, this is what I was saying. It actually looks easier for on YouTube, but I'm looking for where the arrow is. Now, not an arrow, not an arrow. Where's the arrow? Because there's the arrow there. Now here on the CPU, I'm looking at the corners and I can't find where the arrow is. And I promised myself that I'm not going to Google this thing. Where's the arrow? I cannot find the arrow. I cannot find the position of the arrow, guys. I don't know if you can see it, but I cannot find the position of the arrow. Now, this is not the start that I was expecting, right? Now, obviously, this is not the start that I was expecting, but I cannot, for the life of me, find where the arrow is. Now, as you can see, look on the, here, it's simple. There's the arrow, right? But now, when I open this thing up, I'm looking at the corners. Maybe
a few moments later.
I think I figured out. I haven't Googled this thing yet because I promised you guys that I'm not going to Google it. But I think I figured out where the arrow is. Because if you look down here, as you can see, there are like a few pins missing on this corner. And if you look at the CPU here, at the corner there are a few pins missing. So I'm assuming that's where the arrow is. So fingers crossed, I'm just gonna drop it there. Although I shouldn't be stupid, I should probably Google it, right? But
I'm confident. So let's see if we can just drop this. I think I did it. I think I did it, because they always tell you to shake it to see that if it's dropped well. So let me just do this. You say you press it down, and then that's it, guys. I think we've managed to insert the CPU. Now this is actually quite difficult. You know, it's very easy to see these things on YouTube, but when you start doing it on your own, see, I'm actually sweating. But let's move on. Now, the next thing that we're going to be placing here is obviously the RAM. Now, here's another blunder that I did. Check out this RAM. This is the RAM that I got right now. This is 32 gigs. Now, I told the guy who brought these things that I wanted dual channel, but what did he do? He gave me one stick. But anyway, it works out for good. Why? Because at the end of the day, I wanted my my build to have like 128 gigs of RAM. So I can't complain that much. So this is the RAM stick that I got. Okay, this is Ventus LPX DDR4 RAM, right? So let's see if we can insert it. Now, since I'm not going to utilize dual channel, I think I'll just place it on one of the slots here. And then when I get the other stick in a few weeks, then it will probably be dual channel. So let's insert it. Now, if you look here, it says DIMM 1, DIMM 2. So you should start with DIMM 2, which is this one here, if you're using dual channel. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put my RAM here, and when I get some more RAM, I'm going to add the other one on the last socket here. Now it's this way around, because I can see there's like this sort of grooves, and it won't fit if I put it this way. So it's going in this way. Now obviously on YouTube what they say is that you have to press. Now that you have to press, so I'm just going to press it until I hear a click. There it is. Wow, that was actually very simple to do. Now, next thing that we need to do is add the SSD. For that, I got a Samsung 980 SSD. Now, everything that I got in this build is linked in the description below. So let's see if I can just open that. Now, but before I even open it, right, let me just first, I'm going to put it on this NVMe slot here, the first one. Okay, so there's the SSD right here. Now, the first time I saw an SSD, I was like, hey, this is tiny. Imagine this is 1 terabyte, but I mean, this thing is so small. What can I compare? Okay, so this is the thing that I removed from the CPU socket there, but look at it. It's actually tiny, very tiny. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm supposed to put this at an angle right here. Okay, let me just like this and press it. All right. Now, what I need to do is to peel this off. At least that's what they say. So peel this off. Now there's a screw already, and this screw is the one that's going to hold the SSD down. So let's just put it back and screw it back. Okay. All right. Just make sure that they're aligned. Start this end here. Screw it back. All right. Okay. Not too tight. That's what they say. All right. So the SSD is in there. Our CPU is in there, and my one RAM stick is in there. Now for the CPU cooler, I got the AG400 in white. So it's just an air cooler. fan itself and the components that I need, and as well as the heatsink itself. So just put the box by the side. So now I'll have to mount this to the motherboard, but first I need to put this at the back of the case. Now for 1700 I need to push these back. They start off in this position if you're using I'm sure the previous version of this Intel based motherboard, right? So there's my motherboard, right? And I need to come here at the back here and make sure that I place these so they fit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they fit. Okay, let me just put this by the side. Ones that I'm going to be using, guys. These are the ones that I'm going to be using for the build. And there's also thermal paste. I didn't even buy thermal paste. I was relying on this. There's thermal paste which we're going to use now with our. Okay, just orient it in a way that you can see. Now, as you can see, I'm going to put these standoffs here, 1700. One there, one there, one there, and one there. So what we're going to do now is to take this metal bracket right here and mount it to the to these standoffs that are put there. So let me just drop this there and drop in these screws. I'm being clumsy anyway. So let me drop in the screws there. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there's four. Now all I need to do is screw this down. Okay, so screw this down. Okay, they always say you should do it screw these things down in opposites, right? So I'm going to the opposite end right here. All right, okay, so you screw this down, just make sure that it's tight. Right, now obviously logically what has to happen now is like these two metal thingies that are protruding from this bracket. This is where I'm going to place this cooler right here. But before I do that, I need to add some thermal paste. There's the thermal paste from Deepcool. I didn't even buy thermal paste, so I think it was a nice touch from Deepcool. So we're just going to now there's obviously theories behind how you place the thermal paste, but I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to squeeze it at the center there, and whatever happens. Remember, it's my first build, guys, so if there are any PC professionals, please forgive me in advance, please. All right, so there's the thermal paste. All right, I'm just going to place it on the center. Let me see if I can actually squeeze it. It's refusing to come out. Okay, there it is. Hey, this will be like the weirdest thermal paste squeeze ever. I don't even know what shape this is. And is it even in the center? Anyway, I'm sure it will work. Let me just try to push it here. Right? Hey, this is the messiest thermal paste, but hey, it's thermal paste. Now let's see if we can add the CPU cooler right here. So first, the thing you need to do is remove this sticker here. But let's see. So if I place it like this, obviously I want to see the orientation. That means the fan, this fan here, we have to come maybe like this, right? And bring in A. And I should also factor in the fact that I need to locate the fan headers. The CPU fan header is here, so it's going to be this side. All right, so first I need to peel this off. Let me me see. Let me peel it off. Okay. All right, so it's nice peeling things off. Now, what I need to do is just align this with those two metal thingies that I was. Alright, align this here, and then screw this down. So I'm just going to screw it a bit here, and the other side, screw it a bit so that it, okay. And I did it the wrong way. I need to turn it now. I hope the thermal paste won't be all over, but anyway, better to just do it now, and than to see later on. Okay. I don't know why I hadn't seen that, but, and that's what happens when you want to build a PC without watching, because my pride won't let me. Okay, now you can see what had happened with the thermal paste. Looks like I actually squeezed it quite well, because it looks like it's spread all over the CPU, as you can see. But anyway, let's turn this and do it this side. All right, and let me just align it this side as well, and this side, and see if I can just try it again. Okay, this side as well. Screw it a bit this side. Screw it a bit this side. Don't let people fool you guys. Building a PC is actually difficult if you're doing it for the first time. But I think if I get this to work, then you can do it as well. So let's continue the build. Okay. Okay. Now I can safely say it's firmly sitting on the CPU. Now the next thing that we need to do now is add the fan. Right, this is the fan. So we're going to mount it this side, right, like this. So it should be something like this, right? And then it brings in the air. This side is the one that brings in the air, and it cools the heatsink, which in turn cools the CPU. So let's see if we can do that. But now to do that, we need to add the pins. These pins, yeah. Yes. Now I have to this pin here. Make sure that I place them in here. Sorry, these holes here. Okay, and on the other side as well. Yeah, because this is good, especially if that means it's the CPU fan is here. So just click it here, and the RGB stuff I'll probably route it at the back of the case, and we'll deal with it there. All right, so that. Right. Okay, make sure that this one is not squeezing. Okay, so now this side. So now this side, make sure that it's placed here. Okay, like that. Perfect. Now let me just drag this, and it hangs there. Come the other side as well, making sure that I drag this. Right, and it's mounted. So far so good, at least I think so. So I've managed to mount the fan to the heatsink. Now I need to identify, this is the CPU fan here, and these cables here are for the RGB for the fan. So this cable here, it needs to come here. So let me do that. So you can see the 4-pin. So it should come this side, because there's like a clip here. You can see there's like a clip there. So this is where it goes. It actually fits. So let me see if I can do exactly that, like this. That's it. I've done that, and the RGB, I'll deal with that later. So I think I've done all the basics, the things that need to be added to the motherboard. I installed the NVMe SSD the cooler, the CPU, and the RAM, the one stick of RAM, 32 gigs. So I think what's left now is to prepare the case and see if I can place the motherboard in there. So let me just push this to the side and bring in the case. All right, so this is the case. This is the case that we have here. And the first thing that I need to do, obviously, is to make sure that, is to make sure that the standoffs are in the right place, right? Is to make sure that the standoffs are in the right place. There's 1, 2. So I think what I need to do is just come with the motherboard and find out if there are no standoffs. I think I might need to add some and move things around now. So with this case, I think we need 3 at the top. 3 at the top, but as you can see in here, there's just 1 there. 2, the third one is not there, so we might need to install that one, the one that will be on the corner. Let me just see if I can see what it's supposed to be like. Alright, which means there should be 1 there and 1 here. Right, yeah, actually 1 standoff there, there's nothing there, and there's 1 is missing at the end. On the second row there should be 3. All right, so let me just take this out and see if I can move the standoffs around. Okay, so we need to add 1 standoff here. Now these standoffs here, we need to remove them and place them there. Now I don't have a tool to place these, so we might need to think outside the box. Okay, so now this is the last of the standoffs, right? I actually had to improvise with this tool here. I know it's too big for the build, but I don't have a tool to do with the standoffs. So the next thing is we want to put our motherboard into the case. Now the beauty about this motherboard here, right, is that there is no back plate. It comes inbuilt with it. So I'm just going to see if I can put it. Okay, so this is the motherboard. Now we want to place it in here. I've already put the standoffs in the right place. So let's see if we can actually. Okay. Now just making sure that every screw is in the right place. Okay. Right. Now, I'm sure the best thing, because there's 1 standoff here, the best thing is to test out which ones fit into the standoff. Is it this one? Yeah, now these ones are actually fitting. So these are the sort of screws that I need to look for. So let me just put those. Okay, so the first one, this is not magnetic at all. Okay, so let me just put the first one there. Just make sure that I screw it down. Okay, not too tight. Let me just pick another one. Another standoff there. Now my screwdriver is not magnetic, so just have to work with what I have. Okay, this one. Right, so I finally managed to mount this. Let me just turn this so that you can see. I finally managed to mount the CPU, the motherboard, sorry, to the case. I've put everything in there. Now, I think the next thing we have to do now is to start dealing with the cables. Now the cables, if I turn this around, the few cables that are here. These are the case cables that we have to deal with, and I'll also need to add in the power supply. Okay, so I now need to mount the power supply with the fan facing down. So let me see if it fits. I'm sure it will get tight fit, but it fits. Let me just pull it out, make sure that these cables are out of the way, and place it in there. Okay. Looks like there's some maneuvering that needs to be done. Okay. Hey. Good job. Okay. So we can screw these into the power supply. Just press that. Okay. That is it. Okay, so the power supply is actually mounted. And I just love the small detail that comes here. So it's mounted right here. You'll be taking air from the bottom here to cool itself down. Okay, so now what we need to start working on are the cables and different kinds of cables here. These ones are for the power supply. Let me just put them this side, right? And these ones are the case cables, right? So let's just start with the power supply. I think if we just put in the major cables, particularly the 24 pin to power the motherboard, and should be 8 pin to power the CPU, right? If we deal with those first, then yeah, we can move on to the rest. So there's our 24 pin. Now it goes through there, and what we want to make sure is that this clip here, this clip is on the outside, so we'll have to do it like this, right, and twist it such that it mounts there, right? Just press it. Okay. Yeah, now that is all right. That is hooked properly there. So that is done. So this is the CPU cable. As you can see, it's written here CPU. Now this one, it goes through the top here. So we just want it to go through the top there. Just go like this. So this is an 8 pin. So what we need to do is just make sure that we put it in one of these. Now I know the demands of the 12600K, the 8 pin is actually enough. So let me see if I can just place it here. It's actually a tight squeeze, but we have to make it happen. Right. Okay, so I actually got the CPU cable to go there. So that's plugged in. So now we have the 24 pin and we have the 8 pin, 24 pin to power the motherboard, and the 8 pin, right, to power the CPU. All right, so now I think let's deal with the case cables. These cables, now that we've already connected the 24 pin for the motherboard and the 8 pin to power the CPU. But I think before we do that, we need to replace the fans on this, these two fans here on the case, because these ones are not, we cannot program them. Actually, they just run and I cannot even adjust the speed. So let's change the fans since they are not addressable. And what we have to do is just open the front of this case. Now, I need to tug it just a little bit, just like that. That's how you open the case to reveal the fans. Now, from what I'm seeing here, I think I should have first. Yeah, I should have dealt with the fans first before I did this. Now I'm actually giving myself a lot of work, as you can see, because if you can see the screw, it's screwing in from behind. But yo, that's a lot of work. So all that means is that I might need to remove the motherboard from the PC again. Alright, so now I'm removing the... I didn't get to remove the whole motherboard because hey, that's too much work. So I managed to just work around the fans, but now I'm actually removing the last one. Show the fans. So there they are. We just remove them. Okay. Okay, these are the fans that I got from a company called Cool. They're RGB fans, so these are the ones that I'll be using to add to the front. Let me just take these out. Okay, these are the fans here. So one will go here, the other one there, the other one there. So let's add the fans. Okay, so now we've managed to mount the new fans on the front. So I'm going to put 3 fans on the front and 1 fan on the back. So, all right, now that we've mounted the cases at the front and the case at the back, I think right now we can deal with these cables here, the case cables. All right, so the USB 3, as you can see, there's the clip there. We'll align it with this clip. So what we need to do is just turn it and okay, and just make sure that it clips. So now you can see the design of the pins here, right? Now you can see the design of the pins. We're going to attach it there. Now there's one missing here, so we're going to attach it like this. Just turn it around and then press it. It's just clicked. Next thing we have to deal with, like we said, is the USB, and there's JUSB here, and it is the bottom part missing, if you can look here. And so let's do that. So we have to turn it around like this and put it there and make sure that right. Okay, that is attached. We can just bring this cable here. Now the next thing are these cables here. I think I will route them through here. The power switch and right there. Now this is the JF front panel here. So what we need to do, right, let's start. I'm sure if we start at the bottom, that is the base. So at the bottom we have the HDD, right? LED. All right, so now we've managed to attach those. These are actually quite hectic because they're so small and you'll be fitting them there, but at least we got them attached. Now let's turn the now we've connected all the front cables, and we have now these fans to deal with. Now these ones, especially the front fans, there's a hub for them which you'll be able to attach here. So let's just connect them to the hub. But first, let me just route them through here and see. I'm just going to fast forward this part so that we don't have to you don't have to see me go through everything. All right, now we have the hub here, which we'll use. Now this is powered by a Molex cable. So we're going to attach the fan. There's a fan 10, okay, fan 1, fan 2, fan 3. You can actually attach, I'm sure, 10 fans here. So let's do that. Now there's also the fan at the back here. Fan 4. Okay. So now we have to power this hub with the Molex cable. This is from the PSU, so let's just see if we can do that. Okay, now this is perfect fit. Right. All right, so now that we've attached this, now if you look at the case, there's an LED switch here. We can use that to change the RGB colors of these fans. So to do that, there's a cable that's coming from there. This cable here written, let me just route it. This cable here written LED. So we're just going to place it here on the hub. There are 2 pins. Just press it. Okay. Let's just do that. Okay. Now it is attached. Now we also need to connect this to the motherboard as well, to connect the hub itself to the motherboard. And there's this 3-pin here which connects to an RGB header on the motherboard. So let's do that as well. Now there's a click this side, so it goes in like this. Now, okay, now the cables are getting messy here. Or we'll do some cable management soon. So here, let me see where an RGB header is. Turn this around. Where we can attach. Now at the bottom here, there are a few RGB headers. So let me just route it through here. Now, if you look at our RGB here, and you look at this one, written JRB V2, there's 1 pin missing. So this is the way we put it here. So they just just do that and it clicks there. So just pull this cable. Now, looks like we have power to the CPU, power to the motherboard. We've attached the front panel PC cables. We've done that. We've dealt with the fans, and what else? We've connected the hub itself. We're going to peel this part off when we're doing the cable management, and the rest of these cables I don't think they'll be useful to us. So when we do the cable management, we have to look at that as well. Now, for now, let's see if we can so that now for now I'm going to reattach the fan that I removed here when I was adding these fans on the PC cooler. So let me do that now. I think we can start dealing with the GPU, but before we do that, let's just see if we can open up. These are the slots here, and I'm sure, let me just take the GPU and measure where it fits and see if we can remove this here. So let's do that. Alright, so our GPU will go on this first PCIe lane here, which means it will affect, let's see, it's going there. It will affect the first and second slot. So we need to do that. But to do that, we have to be careful. As you can see, there are these capacitors here, which we don't want to interfere with. So let's be gentle and do that. Okay, so now that we've removed these top two slots here and removed this plate here, what we need to do now is to add the GPU. We're going to add it in this PCIe slot here. So we need to just push that back. Now this is our GPU. If you look at the GPU, you need to remove this clip from the GPU and make sure that we the GPU in there and then push it until it clicks. It is. It's clicked. Now we need to get a screw from the case screws and screw this motherboard here. So let me do that. So the GPU is safely mounted to the computer. We are making great progress with our build. Now what we need to do now is to get the PCIe cable routed down here through this hole here and come and power the GPU. So let me okay, so this is our 8-pin cable for the GPU. We just use, or we can use this one. Let me see, because I want the cable to be a bit tidy as well. Okay, so let's just use this one. Just make sure that this one is clicked here. Take it and push it, and now it's connected to the GPU. All right, so we are almost done with our build. I'm actually sweating at this stage. It's actually hot in here, but we've added the GPU, the motherboard, and everything is fine. The case is good. Let me just show you the front of the case. All right, so on the front, we've already added our fans. If you look here, our cooler is there, our GPU is there. At the back, everything is intact. We've added the rear fan. Now let's simply reattach this using simply reattach this, and then okay. The cable goes here, and the other screw comes here. So, all right. So at the back, it's done. At the front, let's see if we can just come and bring back the cover for our case. Okay, align everything. Click. Just make sure that it clicks everywhere. Now we come to the back. We want to do some cable management. Yeah, at least there's this slot here where we can put some of the cables that are left. All right, so before we do any cable management, we just want to make sure if our build is working. So I've just attached power here, clicked it on. So let's do the first boot and see if it's working, right? Fingers crossed. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm actually impressed with myself, man. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so it's working. Looks like the build is working. So yeah, I don't think there are any errors. Everything seems to be working correctly. So let me just do some cable management and close this up and test it again and see if it's working. Then all right, so this is the best that I can do in terms of cable management. Let me just make this part. All right, so what's left, I think, let me just put back the back case, and we turn to the front and remove, peel off the tempered glass, and we're working, right? So let's do that. Okay, so let's peel off. Peel this off. All right, so guys, this is the final. We just finished doing everything on this computer, and this is the first, well, not the first, or the second boot up to see if everything is working properly. But if you made it this far, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Now let's see if we can power it on. First, oh no, let me just switch it on this side, and then here we go. Okay, just want to see if there are any lights on the motherboard. Looks like everything is working.
Whip up my ass.